feel and where have you been? How do you feel? Is this real? Am I dreaming? What's going on? Where am I? Am I awake? Do you still love me?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the All-Star Brawl. We're still in the losers bracket, but tonight we've got Solstice going up against Shikigami. This is going to be casted by myself, Marks, alongside Spooky. And Spooky, you ready to cast Solstice in the losers bracket one more time?
Yeah, we're back at it again with Solstice. It's their second last chance, as they did win their way through the loser bracket, and they're met against Shikigami. And this is their first time going 1-1 in winners to get stomped, or not stomped, knocked back down here with us in the gutter, the loser bracket gutter that we tend to cast in.
We freaking down here. This, our buddy Oscar the Grouch over there just eating some trash, but it's good down here. You know, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's good living.
It is. And I just want to remind everybody that if you are tuning in, please go down a little bit below the video, because on Twitch, we are going to be having our MVP vote down there. So at the end of the match, if you want to hear a player be interviewed by me and Spooky, then we're going to be interviewing the player who receives the most votes for MVP today, regardless on which team they are, but you're going to want to make sure you get their votes. So as we're getting set up for map number 1, that's an incredibly important thing, because if you see one player just, then you want to make sure to vote for him for MVP down below.
Yeah, keep an eye out. No matter who wins, who loses, we will take the player who has the most votes. And make sure to keep a little eye out on the tanks, on the supports. I know they don't show up as much in the kill feed, but potentially give them a little love if you think they're really popping off, if a little more quiet than their DPS counterparts. While you're down there, make sure you're followed to the Twitch channel. And while you're at it, if you would like to follow Overwatch All-Stars Brawl on Twitter, or follow us subscribe to us on YouTube as well, go for it. We always appreciate any kind of support, and you get to see a lot of great Overwatch with some pretty great casters as well, so that's always fun.
Jeez, inflate your own ego more while you're at it.
That was yours as well.
Okay, fine, I will take the compliment. Thank you, Spooky. But we are
Love you,
going to be
buddy.
getting into map number 1 right now, which is going to be starting us out on Nepal. So Solstice going up against Shikigami in our losers bracket. Whoever loses this is best of 5s, is going to be eliminated from the All-Star Brawl. And we're going to be starting out on Nepal. So Spooky, what can you tell us about Nepal?
Nepal's it's a control map, as always, and control's a little bit hard to say exactly what compositions are going to be run, just because in almost every control map, each of the 3 points are so significantly different from each other that it's always fun to start out with. Unless there's like a real meta comp like GOATs, you're probably going to see different heroes on every single one of these points. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see exactly what Solstice are going to come out on. Because like we said, we have cast their games before. We are a little bit more familiar with this team, and they played some interesting stuff. We saw a little bit of Hog. We saw some double shield with Zen as like a nuclear bunker comp that I remember they played against Kent State, and whenever their Winston jumped in, just deleted. So a few interesting comps. I wonder if they'll push out on any of them on Nepal. I don't think so, at least not that double bunker or that bunker Zen composition. It's a lot better when you can set up, and that's the thing with control, is you have to at least contest the enemy in that first fight to get the defensive positioning. So potentially more rush comps, but still, we already see Mead teasing us with the Hog, which he has played to great effect.
That is true. Mead's Hog is something to watch. But of course, I do expect to see a couple of Symmetras on here, because I think that the teleport, as well as just having that, being able to set up those turrets, makes such a big difference, especially on this first point here. So interesting to see. Probably going to see a lot of Symmetras, a lot of crazy photon walls up. But as it counts down, we're going to be off to the races, Spooky.
Yeah, both teams going for a teleporter, and yeah, they will swap off over to that Tracer, just using the Sim to teleport in. Mead not playing the Hog, we are going to see Ball. It's almost mirror comps, other than a little bit of a change in the support line and that flex DPS with the Pharah and the Sombra. I think I lean towards the Pharah a little bit. It doesn't seem like there's anyone who can really contest Stone in the sky.
Yeah, let's see what Stone's up to right now. Like you said, already bullying Frenok in the back there. It's so important to try and eliminate one of the healers there. You can see right now the peel is coming in from Fofi just to keep him alive, but Stone's kind of done their job. And now we can see right now Shikigami, they're going to be the ones being able to turn this point over first. That's going to be Lucid going in for the attack right now, going to be taking out Joey, and now this is just cleanup Fofi trying to escape with his life, but looks like that's going to be all said and done as the DMAC comes out, and potentially a little bit of a stagger.
Yeah, and that's great for Shikigami coming out, because when you have that Pharah, you don't have as much ground presence, so it can be a little bit harder to actually cap up the point. Now that they managed to do that, they get to use whatever defensive positioning they want to get Stone and Neotai into place. And this is a spread out comp, Marks. EMP the Pharah Mercy, maybe? Go for the 2-man EMP to take out the Sky team, but it's not fantastic. It's not the game-winning ultimate you want it to be.
No, absolutely not. I just want to highlight SBT. Great peel back for Abyss. Keeping him alive. We're going to be having a little bit of a battle of the balls in the hallway here. One of them's got a Discord orb, but able to escape. Get that healing. That's so important. Right now, Stone actually has the barrage, looking for an opportunity to use it. As Shikigami are getting themselves into position. It's going to be a little bit tough. Like you said, Spooky, they have a very spread out composition. Okay, we're going to let the barrage go. Unfortunately, gets completely checked. Now we're going to be seeing the self-destruct come online from SBT. Oh, and it catches too. All right. That's probably going to be a pretty good fight win for Shikigami now, as they're just going to be cleaning up the rest of Solstice here.
Yeah, it is a good fight win, but they do, looking at their ults now, they commit a lot. They use the Barrage, they use the Valk, it looks like they use Mines and the Bomb as well. While on the other side, it was only Frenok who used the Nano Boost, and they've decided to swap back over to the Zen, give the Discord Orb a little bit of extra pressure against this ball and this bar in the sky as well. The EMP comes through, but only catches one.
Yeah, not your best EMP, but it was enough. Aspect gets taken out before that Pulse Bomb is going to be used, but we're going to be seeing Joey commit the rally. They need to take this fight right now as we do tick down to overtime. So much damage coming through right now, but they're trying their best to keep things alive. Fofi having the self-destruct in the back, going to choose to use it in the back line there. That's going to be good for a pick onto Abyss. Aspect now back into the fight. So holding on to this Pulse Bomb, they are able to flip the point, which is going to give Solstice a little bit more breathing room. And now this is just going to be clean up for them. Hey, Trev Stacks, you got a little bit of a hack on you, and, well, you're not going to win that Tracer 1v1 against Aspect.
Yeah, Aspect comes up with 3, which is great. But still, you use some pretty impactful ultimates from Solstice to get this retake. You use the MP, you use the Rally. You did force a couple of ultimates out of Shikigami, and they're continuing with this Pharah, which is not as great on the offense as it is on the defense. So this could be a chance for Solstice, but it's truly do or die here. They are going to lose this point. If they lose one fight, it's GG, go next. We're on to the next point of Nepal here.
And it looks like this might be the case right now. Stone was able to find Mead XR with that Barrage, but hey, right now they're pressuring them down. The kill feed is just lighting up all red. Shikigami have the potential to win this fight out right now. We're going to be seeing Joey stall things out for as long as possible. Mead's going to be re-engaging in the fight. It's going to be swinging through the Wrecking Ball, getting into position so quickly. And now the rest of Solstice are here to support, swinging around, trying to do the best to stall things out. Aspect winning out the Tracer 1v1 with a little bit of help from his buddy Lambit. But now it looks like they've got Shikigami on the run. And Solstice are going to be holding on to this point nice and strongly.
And Lambit builds up another EMP there. This is actually looking very good for Solstice. A lot of ultimates coming online for Shikigami, but nothing nearly as impactful as this EMP, especially if he lands it on Abyss. He's looking forward right now. He wants to just take down the shields and get that easy kill.
Me?
And he manages. He gets it with 85% on the clock. That could be game winning.
All right, Mead falls extremely low, but was able to survive. We're going to be seeing Abyss Frenok pop the Transcendence, keep everybody alive. Now we're Rally online as well. Shikigami, they got to make this happen. They're getting extremely close. We're going to be seeing Abyss come in with the Transcendence. You don't see the aggressive Transcendence, but you love to see it when it works out for your team. And now this is an absolute brawl on the point right now. The Pulse Bomb goes out. Despite the fact that they were set back, Solstice are keeping this one strong. Trostack's able to take out Aspect, but it's traded out immediately as well. And now there's just a hacked up Mercy on point. That's not going to be too big of a problem. Right now it's just the chase for Lucid Science. Lucid trying to move around, but then gets hacked up and eliminated and taken out of the fight. The mines are going to come down just for good measure, and as soon as Abyss falls, that is going to be point number 1 for Solstice, turning it around.
Yeah, great for Solstice. Coming alive at the end there. I mean, it was 99-0, and they managed to bring it back. So great play from Solstice. A little scary a few times. There was definitely some fights that started 6v6, ended like 2v3, as all the teams just traded out. But they managed to hold on, and it was good use of their ultimates, good cycling, and just generally good play. I do think it's a little bit harder with the Pharah, with Shikigami stuck on for a little bit to recontest, and they might have to go back and think about that one, because it's definitely not a great offensive pick. Going forward, we do see some different compositions. Lambit's going to be running the Cowboy this time on that hit scan, while Shikigami are sticking with what they had towards the end of that last map as well.
Yeah, it looks like that they're favoring this out right now. A little bit of a Wrecking Ball and Tracer battle happening on the point. Shikigami as well as Solstice just kind of trading blows there, but Trevstax comes out on top. That's off to a good start for Shikigami here. Let's keep it going here. Lambit looking for some picks. Be throwing in the flashbang, but they got to back off of that because they're just taking way too much damage. And as soon as Mead falls down, that's going to be Shikigami once again with first capture.
Yeah, they have no tanks. They back off. That's fine. I'm very interested to see exactly how this Stone Lambit duel is going to go. That is the only difference in this composition, but it seems to put more pressure on Lambit. Stone will be happy to just throw sticky bombs at tanks, put damage in, build up the duplicate, while Lambit really feels pressured to deal with the DPS. no one else can fight the flyer. And he's getting pressured out by the Tracer, which a Stone actually kills the counterpart there. And that does not bode well for Solstice's approach here, because they're in it, Marks. They're still going for it, but they're losing members. They don't even get close to the point.
Yeah, and look at this right now. Shikigami are just rolling in on top of them into that small little room. And well, regardless to say, Shikigami are going to be winning that one out. Now, a lot of ultimates are coming on a line for their team as well. This is going to be hard for Solstice to push into, Spooky.
Yeah, they have the Transcendence, which could help and potentially build up that rally as well, but all of their ultimates are at least matched. Trepstax throws up the ult and does get the kill. The Transcendence, it's all but wasted. You're using it in a 5v6 fight.
Yeah, the Transcendence comes out, potentially to re-engage the fight, but looks like none of the members were just ready for it. Franock getting a lot of pressure in the back. It's going to be a rally coming in now. Joey committing it as well, but we're going to be seeing one from Neothy as well. Trading rallies here. Made able to take out Trevstax. The self-destruct committed. Let's see if it gets anybody. Does not. Okay, Fofi going for the reback now. It's going to be going in there. There are now 3 divas on this field, Spooky. There's too many mechs, and one of them is going to explode right in front of people's faces. Well, thankfully, it was hidden behind that little cardboard shield that Joey had out in front. But right now, Solstice, it looks like they're winning out the long fight here. Their minds dropped on the point right now. Self-destruct going to be coming online as well, but everybody's just going to bounce out of the way from there. Now, Fofi versus SBT. Let's see who comes out on top. It is going to be, in fact, Fofi, because now this is all just Solstice swarming the point, and that's going to be them flipping it around once again just before Shikigami are able to cap that one out.
Yeah, a little bit of deja vu here, Marks.
A little bit.
Coming in at the last minute, and again, they do have the ultimate advantage. We are going to see some swaps from Shikigami. SBT going over to that Sigma gives them a little bit more frontal pressure, but not quite the mobility and peel of the Diva. It seems like Shikigami want to just force their way on the point, and without a break, this is a great opportunity for them.
Oh yeah, that was an unfortunate time for them to use that rally. Mead is able to take out Stone, but the rest of the team has fallen down. Right now, this is all just a stall game. You want to make sure Shikigami don't get control of the point again. That's exactly what's going to happen. Fofi now going to be on point, trying to stall it out all alone. Gets taken out immediately. Can anybody make it back to the point to touch? It looks like Aspect is going to be the person falling down immediately, and literally everybody else from Solstice are going to be dying. We're seeing Lambert re-engage with the Doomfist, but with a Discord orb on your head, you're not going to be staying alive for too much longer. Mead able to get the respawn and re-engage, but there's just way too much pressure. That Discord orb is just pumping in too much damage. And that's going to be Shikigami winning out point number 2, taking this first map to 1-1.
Yeah, Shikigami just looking a little bit more comfortable on this composition. The only difference was Lambent and Stone. And Lambent seemed very pressured to get anything done. It felt to me, at least, every time he poked his head out, there was either the Echo raining down damage at him or the Tracer behind on the flank somewhere. And it just seemed he could never get the sightlines he wanted to try and put enough pressure on Stone to make him back off and then get a stronger position to assist the team. It just really felt like Solstice got stuck a little bit at choke points and never quite got through them, which is fairly unfortunate for them. But 1-1, we move on to Sanctum here, and we're going to see the Reinhardts break out, the Rush comps.
I love to see it. Both of these Reinhardts immediately just dashing forward into it. I'm ready for some Hammer v Hammer action here. I'm wondering how Aspect's Hanzo is going to change things up, because he's going to be going up against Trevstack. Usually you get the Mead almost went for a little bit of a dip based on that one. You gotta be careful about those Lucios booping people around, but this is looking like it is going to be Shikigami coming out on top right here. Right now, oh man, as soon as Franock falls down, that's going to seal the nail in the coffin for this team fight. You can see right now, Solstice, they still want to take this fight, but it isn't looking good. They don't have a main healer here, and Fofi's falling extremely low. Also, they have to deal with a Mei. Not much you can do there, as the picks are going to be coming through. Me coming onto point, still wanting to take this fight once again, but now there's another Reinhardt. Now there's an entire enemy team. Tries to get the pin, but is going to be taken out immediately by Trevstax. And, well, that's going to be Shikigami with the first cap yet again.
Yeah, I know we were talking about me almost going over the edge there, but well, he didn't fall. He did end up in enemy territory and was just, he just had to hold his shield until he fell. He was not in a good position to do anything, so the boot might not have killed me, but did win them the fight. Now, Solstice are pushing their way out, but Fofi's stuck behind an ice wall. They're split off.
Ooh, here comes the high noon from Trevstax. doesn't find too much value, and we're going to be seeing the sound barrier committed. Unfortunately, Mead was not able to be saved based on that one, but this fight is still going on. Aspect falling extremely low. Going to have to back off here, but right now, Shikigami still have control of this point. Lambit has the Blizzard in hand, doesn't want to use it, just knows that there's a couple of people here. But Fofi's going to be going for... Oh, that was a deadly icicle there. Now it's just Lucid Science. As soon as Sigi falls, they just got to deal with Neothi up in the air. But as soon as they go down, that's going to be Solstice able to turn this one around before 90% this time, Spooky. So
for
a little
once,
bit of a change
yeah.
of pace.
Yeah, for once. But Solstice only used their support ultimates to get in there, so they will have the ult advantage. The Gravitic Flux into the Dragon Strike is pretty powerful. Even Gravitic Flux into Blizzard is even better. The Ice Wall is good, but the Blizzard comes through as well. Lambent freezes up quite a few members, but the picks, they're there, yes.
Oh yeah, they're holding them at this choke. Needless to say, Abyss trying to use the moon boots, escape. You know, take the high ground. That way you can get away from the danger. And right now, this is looking like Solstice. Oh boy, Trevstack's almost got
He's bullied in the corner.
Okay, all right, we're seeing an Earth Shatter come down as well now from Lucid Science. Really wanted to take Fofi out, but right now Mead's in a very bad position. Gets immediately picked out as well, and suddenly what was looking like Solstice were really in charge of things. Shikigami punished that over-aggression, and now they're going to be the ones taking over this point. The Amplification Matrix is going to be dropped down by Frenok, trying to keep this point alive, but right now there's nothing they can do. They're going to be losing that out, and the point's going to flip over.
Yeah, Trevstacks looked like he was feeding there, trying to go through going through that little corridor with the rest of the team following up. But you know, to be bait, you have to feed a little bit, and the rest of the team managed to follow up and get the fight win and the recapture. It was looking bad for a second. I thought Trevstacks would just stagger out, but now Solstice are the ones back in spawn, trying to find their way out, and Shikigami save a lot of ultimates. They have the Blizzard, they have the sound barrier, and Solstice don't really have anything to work with. And the more time they spend, the closer they are to last fight.
Ooh, the Blizzard is going to be coming out, going to force out the sound barrier here, but now all the ultimates are coming out from Shikigami, and we can see the picks are reflected. That's a huge Gravitic Flux, but unfortunately not going to be doing too much. Trevstack's using that opportunity to get the Deadeye off as well. Just, you know, it's a lot easier to snipe people down with the Deadeye when you're lifted up into the air over every obstacle.
That's it.
Yeah, here we go, Shikigami. They win that one out.
Yeah, Shikigami just having the ultimate advantage in that last fight. Solstice, you know, they come through with 80% on the clock. The Blizzard freezes you up. It takes a little bit to get the picks. 92% by the time you die. There's no way you can test that. But by Shikigami, they seemed thoroughly in control. They seemed a little bit better in this Reinhardt matchup. And overall, just very good stuff from them. The only time they lost, I believe, was actually when Fofi was able to go on a little adventure on his own and take out the McCree and the Baptiste, who had been using the high ground positioning to just rain down damage and healing onto the point. So Fofi, a little respect to him. If Fofi really impressed you, make sure to vote for him as your MVP for this game in the About tab below, because he did impress me. But unfortunately, his team did not take the win on Nepal.
Unfortunately so, Shikigami, once again, like you said, Spooky, looked really coordinated there, but Solstice, they did have a couple of good moments, but I think it's just the overall coordination coming out from Shikigami. You could tell that they feel like they're more put together, whereas it did seem that Solstice were getting a little bit too aggressive. You know, at times you would see people spread out in front of the rest of their team, and then as a result, Shikigami were ready to punish it. I think the biggest example of that was on that point number 3. And so, yeah, ultimately, Shikigami did come out on top, so they're going to be now leading our series 1-0 against Solstice. And like Spooky said, if one of those performances really stood out to you, then make sure to drop down below into the MVP poll who you think it is, so you can get interviewed, or they can get interviewed by your lovely casters tonight.
Yeah, and you know, if we want to talk results as well, just going back to your point about Shikigami looking a little bit more coordinated, if we want to, instead of just like our eye test and how we felt, I do want to note that Shikigami won the first fight every single time on all 3 points. Yeah, they opened the capture, and that really is the fight on control. You know, that's the neutral. There's no defensive positioning for either team. You're both just headlong running at that glowing objective in the middle. So that it really is, you don't have positioning to fall back on. You don't have Yeah, you have to use your cooldowns to engage. It's really kind of better team wins. At least in maybe better mechanical team. I know there's there's
Teamwork.
a saying in Overwatch that control doesn't matter because it's so different from the other maps, but
yeah,
still, Shikigami taking the first win on each of those does say something to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, Solstice, they were able to come back with it, but it wasn't until Shikigami already had roughly about 90% already in the bag for both first and second point. It was only on the third point that they were able to flip it out before. And, like you said, like once Shikigami kind of gets into position, they just feel like they're more put together. But this is going to be put to the test next because... Spooky, we've got Watch Point Gibraltar coming up, which is going to be Solstice Esports' pick.
Yeah, I'm excited. Solstice, they're very much a dive-oriented team. I think they really do like playing the Winston. They like playing the ball. I don't really think Reinhardt is their specialty. And I think we've seen that a couple of times where Mead, I believe, feels a little bit more comfortable on pretty much any other main tank. Than the Rhine. I think we've only seen it played on, your control centers, your sanctums, your very close quarters, control points. So potentially, you're writing Nepal off. You're like, control, not really our map. Let's go to something a lot more dive oriented that we're much more comfortable with. And if I say dive, you say Gibraltar, right? Like it's the essential dive map. It's covered in high ground.
The quintessential dive map. Dive.
Gibraltar.
Yeah, there we go. I wanted to see if we could make that work, and I'm glad that we did. But we are going to be going in here, and we are going to be starting out with Shikigami on defense here in Watchpoint Gibraltar. Like you said, a lot of dive here, but on defense, it is fairly common to see some teams bust out the double shield strategy. We all remember the cursed image from the San Francisco Shock, just using that double shield with a bastion up onto the point. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see something similar here, but obviously on the attack, I imagine we'd probably see a little bit of dive.
Yeah, for sure. It is all about the high ground because the defense, they can play double shield because they can start up there. They can set up their bunker where they want to, while the offense, they need to get up there somehow, and Monkey's the best way to do it. But not super surprising, Shikigami are going to run out with a double bubble on defense. They're very good sightlines for Ashe, specifically, who gets to just kind of play in the back, while the Monkey does a little bit of harassing alongside the Tracer. That extra bubble just acting as a deterrent to enemy Briggs, who would be there to deny the dive. And it's pretty common to see the double bubble defense, and we are going to see it on offense as well, as Mead and Kofi switch over to those heroes.
Yeah, and right now this is all going to be looking at those Brig whip shots here. SBT already trying to contest Mead XR. And you can see Mead just going to be backing off of that. Wants to just give up the high ground. They're more than happy to push the cart on the ground. Stone, though, on that Tracer is giving them a little bit of a headache here. Right now, the complete high ground has been set up. The dives are going through on both sides, but Mead has to immediately back out. Getting anti-nated, so going to be backing off here. And then pressure down. Nothing you can do against Trev Stacks with that Ashe, just like you said, Spooky. Ashe getting a lot of value right now, and that is going to be Shikigami holding back Solstice from their first attack.
Yeah, for sure.
And, oh my god.
As a main tank, this is a super annoying support duo to go up against. The bashes, the whip shots from the Brig deny your dives, the anti-heals coming in, and it does seem like Abyss is actually focusing those. It seems like every time I look at Mead, he's antied. So definitely something to watch out for. The bubble can heal you, like it can debuff or take away that debuff, but you use the bubble to engage, Mark. Like you can't save it for after. The grab's coming out from SBT, and Lucid Science is there to clean it up. That's gonna be another fight win for Shikigami here.
Yep, you're right now. It looks like Shikigami are going to be on top, but they did invest a couple of ults in there where, as Solstice, they're holding on to their ultimates. And look, they have gotten quite a bit of cart progress already because Shikigami just using that high ground ready to engage on that second point, has enabled them to just get that kind of sneaky back cap to get that cart forwards here. We're going to be seeing Mead now dive into it, immediately gets purpled with the nano boost on him, unfortunately unable to really engage here. Lucid gets put to sleep though, while Primal raging. That's going to be a good sign for Solstice Esports, and now they're able to get the high ground off of Shikigami. MeatXR though, he's out on his own. He's feeling a little bit scared. We're going to see a bomb coming into the back, as well as a Primal Rage. All sorts of damage coming in as Fofi engages with the grab, and now there's just a monkey slapping people around in that little area. Can Neothai escape with his life? Turns out that's not the case. Now this is looking like Solstice are just going to be cleaning things up, and they should be able to get point number 1 as soon as they get rid of that pesky little stone in the back.
Yeah, Fofi completely charged up, gets the grab on the 3, and that does seal the deal. It is a lot of ultimates used, but yeah, you get it's the big ones, you know, the Graviton Surge, the Pulse Bomb. Those will be building up quickly. But that's an aggressive fight coming out from Solstice here. And that's great for them. They get to take the high ground positioning. Point B is pretty hard to contest if you can't get through the chokes and the enemy team is just stacked up on top of the shuttle there. So it's great that Solstice have taken these choke points and are really pressuring Shikigami as they try and get in.
Yeah, MeatXR once again going in. Gonna get body blocked here. Oh no, got antied again. He spent half this game purpled, and well, he's paying for it. Now we're seeing Lucid get into the mix. He gets the nano boost, but there's just too much damage coming through. A rally also committed by Joey just to keep everybody nice and healthy. Neothi also using the rally as well, so this is going back and forth right now. It's an all-out brawl on top of the spaceship. You wouldn't expected this one, boys, but here we are now. They're looking for anything. The grab is going to be coming in from Fofi with a huge pulse bomb coming in from Aspect. That's going to take out 2, and I think that is going to be once again Solstice looking like they're coming out on top of this one. As soon as they get rid of Stone, once again stall it at the point.
Yeah, and this is great from Stone to have the presence of mind to stall a little bit more. No one was really doing that on the first point, which is why Solstice were able to cap with just a single fight win. So Stone trying to avoid that this time, but still he fell a little bit late. So Shikigami have to go in on this 5v6 fight.
And here we go. We're going to be seeing the engage. The bomb is committed already, and that's going to be SBT falling down. Nothing you can do against a Winston and a Bob. And Aspect coming from the back line. Going to use the alley-oop with Mead just to take out the rest of the team. And once again, Stone, the last one on the point, but that's going to be point number 2 for Solstice.
Yeah, as soon as they cap it, I think that they stepped away a little to try and clean up these kills, get that ult charge. And they do pick up a good amount on the way. You know, Aspect picking up the Pulse Bomb for good measure. But this is great for Solstice. You know, they looked completely stalled out for a while there on point A, but they've gotten the snowball rolling. And they just keep pushing it forward. They're cycling their ultimates. They're not throwing everything away, which is great to see. But now Shikigami, they do have the advantage. They have the pulse grab combo of their own, and they're going to be looking to put it down as soon as they find a good place. But Aspect demolished, but he gets the kill onto Abyss.
Oh no! Oh, let's see how this goes. The grab did come through. No pulse bomb to follow it up because unfortunately Stone wasn't around, and there's not enough damage that could go through there, but right now the trades are going back and forth. SBT able to take out Fofi. Stone finding Prenok. All right, now this should slow down Solstice's push because they are without one of their main healers. Joey going to be using the rally. They still want to take this fight. They think it's winnable, and they're going to be using the momentum that they have gained up to kind of push this one forwards more. Mead and Aspect right now, all eyes are on them to see what they can do, find extra picks here, get more value, and stall things out for the team to come back. But it's going to get extremely more difficult as Trev Stacks invests a Bob, and now we can see that they are going to be backing up here just a little bit to get the support from their team. They're still taking this team fight though, and honestly it looks like they might be able to come out on top of it as SBT has fallen down, but Mead falls asleep just for a hot little second. Talk about a power nap, but you'll see moving forwards with the rally is going to make that more difficult. Mead barely survives the pulse bomb. Now pop into the Primal Rage. Oh, he gets the hit off of Abyss, throws him into the water in the background. And right now Mead is just absolutely popping off, making this stay alive for the team. Meanwhile, Trev Stacks just in the back line trying to pressure the back, and finally enough damage has come through from this DPS duo from Shikigami that is going to have to be Solstice back to the drawing board. But they lose Lucid Science on the way out.
I don't think it matters, Marks. Solstice aren't able to get a decisive fight win, and that's what you need when you're so close to the enemy spawn. Mead has been taking so much damage. He, like last fight, he needed a nano boost and the primal rage to keep him alive. But looks like the team managed to clean up anyway. They've got 3 picks, they get a 4th, and Mead's sacrifice might be just what they need to get this over the hump.
Yeah, Fofi looking to use the grab. He's going to be investing it just on the side there, trying to get Stone trapped into the trap. Also, too, Joey had already built up yet another rally, another Bob coming through, and a Primal Rage as well. Oh, right now, this is going to be Shikigami fighting for their life. Lucid falls down, but it looks like the picks might be going in Shikigami's favor right now, as they're able to hold back the onslaught. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock for Solstice Esports as they disengage here. They need to make something happen, and they need to make something happen fast.
Yeah, and it is that spawn advantage, especially with a team comp like this. You don't have a Zen to discord the Bob. The Bob will stay alive for quite some time. There's not a quick way to burst him down, so it's a great stalling tactic. Now, almost no ultimates. It's just Frenox nano boost here. If Mead gets that early, he could build up to Lambent's Bob and maybe get something going before this rally and nano come out. But Stone getting an early pick.
Ugh.
No Bob. No Bob, Marks.
Nope, no Bob at all. Now the nano has been committed onto Lucid. Frenox using it as well onto Mead. Mead trying to come in here and get some damage done. Gets put to sleep though. He's been able to touch the card in order to initiate overtime, but he's looking around. Literally everybody from the enemy team is around. Thankfully, that Tesla cannon just does spread damage. He built up to the Primal Rage. This could be a turning point for the team. He takes out Lucid Science, and now the spawners can't even come back. The Doomfist swap is coming through from Trevstacks. Not able to do anything here, and this looks like Solstice Esports are going to be capping this out in overtime.
Yeah, they come alive in the last minute. They give enough time for Lambent to come back on the Bob, which is all that was needed to actually get the cleanup. Mead coming alive at the last moment. Mead has been a fairly feast or famine player. And I think a large part of that has been Abyss has been very, very good on the Ana, on the flex support for Shikigami, hitting the sleeps, hitting the anti-nades, really putting a lot of pressure on Mead when he dives in. And it's great to see him still getting value. When he's been pressured so hard by this flex support. Like, Abyss has gotten his number, but Mead turned up when it matters. And it's been great to see. This game has been very close so far.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about Abyss shutting Mead down, and it makes total sense. As soon as Mead can do what Mead wants to do, it seems like team fights were just going in Solstice Esports' favor. But as soon as he got anti-nated, got whip-shotted away, got put to sleep, then it slowly crumbled apart. So right now, I think if you are Shikigami, you have to be looking at how you can continue to shut down Mead, because that's opening up so much space for the rest of the team to just come in here and swarm around. And Solstice Esports, they're opting to go for that double bubble, stick to their guns.
Yeah, and I think we are going to continue to see the double bubble. You know, Lucid Science and SBT just trying to get the halt hook combo rather, right off the beginning. And actually, they might catch someone. Fofi's in a dangerous position.
Let's see how it goes. Nope, nothing. All right, yeah, they're going back. Now we can see the swaps come through here, as it looks like it is going to be, in fact, the double bubble. We're going to be seeing Aspect, though. He's really deep in enemy territory. So are holding on to this high ground right now.
And look at Trevstacks going over to the Cowboy here. That is, I think that is Mead respect. It's not the long range. It's not the long range damage that Ashe provides, but it is a little bit more frontal pressure, which is great in these small.
Yes, it is. We're gonna be seeing now a lot of pressure coming through. Trevstacks able to get off so much damage. Shikigami look like they are going to be, in fact, able to win out this point. Headshot is coming through, but Trevstacks does fall down to Aspect. Let's see how this goes. Stone, though, able to clean up Aspect as well. And now this is just going to be Shikigami rolling things forwards. We're going to be seeing the recontest come in. Solstice want to continue to take this fight here, pressuring them into the server room, but Mead immediately put to sleep, and now he's surrounded. He's got 3 members with his numbers, and that's going to be a quick cleanup. The Bob is invested onto the point, trying to add even more pressure onto Shikigami, see what they can do here, but right now, this is looking like it's going to be Solstice kind of in charge of things right now. The respawns are coming in finally. Fofi falling extremely low, but Lucid Science gets stuck by Aspect. Now we're going to be seeing a nano boost come in as well onto Fofi. Fofi right now is also extremely charged up. This is a very dangerous combination if you want the move in here. So we're going to be seeing it, how this goes. Fofi got that Graviton Surge online right now. And honestly, great alt rotation. That was a great Bob in order to solve things out. And now we're going to be seeing Joey using the rally, that rally armor being extremely important. Fofi uses the grab, finds 3, and most importantly, their backline healers. So that's going to be an important pick for them. And looks like that's going to be Solstice Esports able to hold out in the tide of ultimates. But now it's not looking too good. Shikigami, they've got a Deadeye, they've got a Pulse Bomb, and are really close to that Nano as well. We can expect to see Lucid get that Nano boost, potentially building up to a Primal Rage. We can see Lucid diving in here, trying to get the pig, is able to get Fofi, and now Shikigami are more than happy to walk this one forwards yet again. Lucid, don't die. Okay, there you go. Got a little bit of a Zarya bubble. Life is feeling good. And now the Nano Boost is going to be committed. You won't want to be walking into that if you're Solstice. Let's see how it goes. Also has the Primal Rage online. Has an extra life. This monkey is literally immortal because there's no way you're cutting through that HP pool. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Shikigami are able to capture out point number 1. Now we're just seeing the rest of the cleanups here. But it was a little bit of an expensive fight for Shikigami. They did expend quite a few of ultimates in there, but already they're starting to get some of them back online. When you take a look at what Solstice is working with as well, the closest thing that they're built up to is that Nano Boost, which could be really important if Mead is able to get into that back line, but it's going to be extremely difficult, you know. You got Trev Stacks on the Cowboy, has a Flash Grenade. You've also got the Whip Shot. So much crowd control here. It's going to make Mead's life down, falling asleep on the job, and getting pressured down. Aspect with Mead have just been instrumental right now. Oh no, they're stuck in a small room, and Mead is swinging his monkey arms all over the place. You know, they call Gorilla Grip glue Gorilla Grip for a reason, and that's because it's extremely strong. So Solstice, they're going to be having this point. Stone, once again, the last man standing, and just going deep far into the background. But Solstice able to hold onto the point for now, as Shikigami have to start over once again. Finally, Stone does fall down here. Trev Stacks getting up to that Deadeye. We're seeing a lot of ultimates actually coming online for Shikigami right now. They've got a Graviton Surge. Could be comboed with the Pulse Bomb. We've seen amazing things come out from Fofi and Aspect on Solstice. I'd be surprised if we didn't see something similar come out here from Shikigami. Here we go. There's going to be the engagement. Dueling grabs into the middle here. Stone able to find the pick, but unfortunately got stuck a little bit too close to his own Pulse Bomb. And now the battle is on. Shikigami looking like they're coming out a little bit more dominantly here. Trev Stacks holding on to this Deadeye, looking for that Tracer. Not able to find him, but hey, right now Shikigami are looking a little bit comfortable on this point, just cleaning up Aspect in the back line. Mead trying to stall out the point for as long as they can. Thankfully not bio-nated this time, but has to watch out. The stun is too powerful. Now he's going to be engaged to try and contest this point. Okay, Joey and Mead able to find a couple of picks here. Solstice suddenly looking a little bit shabbier. Trev Stacks uses the Deadeye, able to catch Aspect out of the way. Mead had the Primal Rage online already and was just using it, but has to immediately, back off just because there was just so much damage coming in. Sorry, I said Mead, but I actually meant Lucid Science. So Shikigami, despite their best efforts, have not been able to make it to point number 2 here. Now, we're seeing a bomb committed inside, immediately put to sleep. You could tell the look on Shikigami's face where they were like, hold on a minute, why is Bob all the way back here? Shouldn't he be on the point or something like that? But I love the aggression coming out of Solstice right now. They know exactly where they are, and they want to punish how Shikigami want to engage here. Lucid receiving the Nano Boost. Could be coming onto the point now, trying to pressure out anybody. But little do they know, the entire team is off the cart. And so there's not going to get a lot of value out of that. Just jumped on and kind of looked around. Meanwhile, Mead using the Primal Rage to pressure things down. But now the grab comes in and it catches almost every single member. And Solstice Esports are just going to swarm in like flies to honey. And that's going to be Solstice with the team kill. Now, Shikigami, they've got one last attempt at this. They do have that rally online. I'm looking at Lucid. I'm looking at Stone. They're going to be the ones who have to make it back to the point. Let's see if they should be able to touch it. There's plenty of time for that, but this is going to be the fight to win them all. Meanwhile, Solstice, that was a very expensive fight. They do have a Pulse Bomb online, but unless it is absolutely huge from Aspect, this could end very dangerously for them. We can see Stone already pressuring things down. Aspect falling extremely low. Lambent able to find Stone. That's a great start for this defense, but now the rally is coming out from Neothai. Okay, all right. All the ultimates are coming online. This is do or die right now. Trev Stacks gonna be coming in here, able to take out Aspect. Bob is committed onto the point as well. Never mind, Bob's thrown in somewhere on the high ground, but right now Solstice, despite the ultimate difference, are going to be coming out on top of there, and they are going to be winning out map number 2, tying up the series 1-1 against Shikigami. Oh boy. All right, so just quickly, let's see what Fofi did as Zarya. I have a good feeling it's going to be that absolutely massive Graviton Surge towards the end, and that's probably the case. Hey, look, there's the entire team. Hey, seems like you needed that in order to win the game. But Solstice looking so coordinated and so good. And just to give all of you guys an FYI on what's going on over here, unfortunately Spooky is having a little bit of computer troubles, but don't worry. I'm here to talk you through it and break down what the heck just happened there, to the best of my ability. But of course, you know, we talked about how Mead was enabling the team to do amazing things and how great the support lineup from Shikigami was in order to really deny that. And I think right there, that especially on that final fight, that's exactly why they needed to shut down Mead. Because they kept on trying to engage on a team that was already split up, and Mead was more than happy to just jump in there. And as soon as the rest of the team was around to make sure that Mead was nice and supported, well, you just saw what happened. Mead jumped in the front line, the entire team of Shikigami focused their attention onto him, and then the back line just came in there. We saw Aspect, we saw Fofi, we even saw the Ashe run in there, and that just put so much pressure on Shikigami from different angles that they didn't know what to do and had no use, nothing to do except for collapse. I also want to talk about Solstice and how good their positioning was throughout the entire match. Shikigami had invested multiple ultimates trying to just guess where they were because, for example, a Nano Winston into the entire team in a place that you would expect the team to be hanging out on is a very effective tool to take them down. But guess what? Solstice, they were completely somewhere else, and then as a result, that ultimate was more or less wasted. We saw plenty of opportunities where a rally was popped up just a little bit too early because they got confused as to where the fight was going to be happening. And as a result, Solstice, they just back off. And when they're feeling comfortable, you know, we're just going to wait for a lot of that type of stuff to kind of hop out there. And as soon as they've got an opportunity, well, they're just going to hop in there and they're going to engage with Mead right in the front. So supported. Aspect got his back right there. And then the rest of the team is going to be moving in and crushing Shikigami down. Now, we are going to be going into our next match here. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, if you saw any pop-off performances that just really resonated with you on a spiritual level even, then make sure to go down below and vote for your MVP, because at the end of this, we will be interviewing the MVP. So, you know, couple of pretty good contenders if you ask me, just based off of that last map. But we are going to be going to our next map. This is going to be the pick for Shikigami, and hey, they're going to be bringing us to King's Row. Good old-fashioned King's Row. Everybody who plays Overwatch knows King's Row. It's kind of the home of the rush. You can get a little creative with some of the higher areas, but generally speaking, you expect to see a Reinhardt coming out, as well as supported with a Mei, a Cowboy, and Zarya, or honestly, Diva has been in rotation quite a bit. I would like to mention, especially on that first point, there is an incredibly high open skybox. And with that open skybox, it isn't uncommon also to see a Pharah, because if one team decides to play rush, you know what's really hard to hit? Someone flying up in the air, especially too if you're holding this big clunky hammer. How are you even going to be able to achieve that? So I wouldn't be too surprised to see if we get a Pharah in some of these picks, because it kind of is the dismantling to this rush composition, especially on point number 1. But as we move things forward, I once again am expecting to see a lot of rush style compositions coming in here. There are opportunities for a lot of sightlines, but you know, we'll see how things go. I do have to say, in the dive, it is very clear to me that Solstice are the ones who are a lot more comfortable there, but Shikigami were able to beat them out on the rush composition themselves, and maybe that is a reason why Shikigami do want to be taking us to King's Row next. And Spooky, I think you're back in the booth with me, buddy. And you ready for some King's Row action?
Wow, that was a great match. That was fantastic. All those things that happened on that map that I definitely saw.
It was the best. It was the best.
Who won?
Solstice did win that one out. They were able to hold them before point number 2. Once again, Shikigami just not able to figure out how to deal with Mead, I think. And that's ultimately what it came down to, as Solstice, they sent Mead in, had the back agents come in from the back, and it was all but over for Shikigami.
Yeah, absolutely. Mead has been putting on such a good performance. So good, in fact, I actually had to leave the casting booth to go vote for him as my MVP tonight. I couldn't hold on any longer. I just went straight to the Twitch page, scrolled down to the About. I couldn't find it. That's what took me so long. But it's in the About section. So if you go down to that, you will be able to find an MVP vote and vote for whoever has caught your eye so far. It's a great time to do it between maps, so you don't miss any of the action. And if anyone has really stood out to you, go ahead and put your vote in for them. Right now, there's one from both team marks that has really caught my eye. There's Mead, of course, but also Abyss, the flex support on Shikigami. Has been putting on a very good performance, I believe, and I'm excited to see if he'll keep that up moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, Abyss been doing a really good job with basically just kind of shutting down Mead in this kind of fight here. But, you know, not what I expected. We are going to be seeing Solstice Esports coming out with the double shield. You know, I would have expected a little bit more of a rush, but hey, this is a different look for them.
And this just cements the idea I've had already, is that Solstice are not comfortable on rush comps. They will only play them if they absolutely need to on some of those close range close range control maps where the rush is required pretty much. Instead, they opt for this double shield, even though they do run rush DPS with Aspect and Lambent. So they are ready for the rush coming in. That's why they have the ice wall, but they don't want to play the Rhine themselves, opting instead for a more defensive comp with Brigida.
Yeah, let's see how they want to choose this engagement here. We can see already Shikigami was like, oh, well, we're really expecting this combination of heroes, but now's going to be the go time. Lucio using that the speed boost, getting people in already. Losing Science having a little bit of trouble trying to get in there. So much poke damage coming in. They're going to opt to go through Hotel here. And now they're coming in on the back line, but look at that rotation coming through. That's an excellent Maywall, but Lucid just gets taken out of the equation immediately. That's good science if you ask me. Picks are going to be coming through. Aspect absolutely popping off on this Cowboy, and well, that's going to be Solstice holding them out quite affirmatively, honestly.
Yeah, they lose Freenok at the end there. Freenok. That is unfortunate. I don't think Freenok will be back in time for this next fight, so I do think you'll see Solstice back off a little bit. They need those heals coming through, or Shikigami and Lucid Science are going to roll right over them. And you can see they give up all the positioning that they held earlier.
Yeah, it was good ice wall to block off that amplification matrix here, but now they're waiting. Solstice is waiting for their moment to re-engage. Let's see when they're going to be going in. Now's the time. The Deadeye is going to be...
Who touches?
They're going to be moving in.
They don't touch!
They couldn't touch the payload. They got actually walled off. And despite the fact that they might be winning out this team fight, it doesn't matter because they lost the point. That's kind of the danger if you run double shield on point number 1 on these high grounds. And, well, that's a free point for Shikigami.
Yeah, Marks, that is the problem. It's Freenok dying early means that they cannot take the positioning they want. They can't put a bunch of pressure on Lucid Science and the gang as they push forward, which is what you need to do to win this composition. Their best mobility tool is the freaking combat roll. Like, they're not coming back on the points anytime soon. And just, like, giving up the points, giving up that positioning, well, that was as good as losing the fight. They can't do anything about it. They can't push forward against the rush comp with this double shield composition.
And look at this, Shikigami. They want this space. Look at how far forward they are. We're going to be seeing a grab come in. Well, it's all fine and dandy. Doesn't matter. Lucid Science goes in. Oh my god, that's absolutely massive. I think that was a 5-man shatter, as well as the blizzard as well. Well, Shikigami, they're looking like the death gods themselves because they're just coming through and they've got Solstice on their menu.
Yeah, they look incredibly comfortable. I think they are even going to get the cap here. They go back to have 3 on cart. And once again, we talked about mobility. It's not happening. No one's going to be able to touch this cart. And we are going to see Solstice actually swap over towards a rush comp of their own. Me just holding onto the supercharger will lay it down, and then he has to be swapping over to the Rhine. You're not going to play the Orisa with the Lucio. So yeah, he's just using the supercharger, trying to get value out of the ultimate, push the team back. But Mean's gonna have to find the time to swap over to the Reinhardt if he wants to match Lucid.
Disengage off of it, and well, the ultimate is down now. We're seeing application matrix. Mead being like, get stuck on the May wall. Well, now they've got Lucid in a bit of a bad position. He's walled off from the rest of his team, but still able to get some heals. Aspect, though, just bursting in too much damage. Nothing you can do for that one. And Solstice are looking all right now, despite the fact that they haven't swapped over to the Reinhardt just quite yet. Mead is doing a pretty good job of kind of laying on some frontal pressure with the Orisa machine gun. And hey, they're getting the picks, so that's going to be Shikigami backing off of this one, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they don't want to swap off the Orisa because they have the supercharger. But now the Orisa's feeling pretty good because you've got the defensive positioning. You have these long sight lines you can take advantage of. Suddenly, you know, Ryan is feeling, you know, you have to cross the gap. You don't want to do that. It does feel a little awkward with the Lucio, though, but you still have these fast disengages to get away from the enemy Ryan as he's barreling forward. This composition, well, there's a reason you play Ryan, right? But this composition could definitely work.
Oh, Mid, able to escape barely. The Shatter came down, didn't find anything, but now an Amplification Matrix is going to make that easy for them to pick people off. Okay, the Sound Barrier comes in, but now a Supercharger is online as well, and I would be shocked if Shikigami continue to engage out of here. It actually looks like they're just going to be ducking for cover, as there's so much damage just coming. Unable to escape with their life. And well, hey, Solstice, they're making this Orisa work.
Yeah, it's the defensive positioning. As soon as they lose a fight, they will swap over to the Rhine, probably because they will have to just to touch the point again. But they're really taking advantage of these long sightlines and Mead's ability to control them. He puts down so much damage, and Shikigami are struggling to move forward. 5 ultimates used in that last fight, and nothing to show for it.
And let's see how this goes. And self-destruct gonna go up there. Thankfully, a lot of stall, but Abyss is able to take out Mead. We might be seeing that rush composition in full force now. The Sound Barrier is committed just to make sure that they can stall this out for as long as they can. Lambit falling extremely low, but it is going to be Aspect right now trying to get damage in. Gets walled off. You hate to see it. Lambit now going to be hiding. Okay, we're going to be seeing now Mead come back with the Reinhardt. Has to stay on point right now. Cannot drop off. Otherwise, this is going to be a C9, and we don't want to be seeing that right now. Trev Stacks using the Deadeye, able to find one, and with an Amplification Matrix, this is all but it's done. As finally, the Solstice defense is going to be crumbling, and Shikigami are going to cap that out with 2 extra minutes in their pocket.
Yeah, Shikigami just look good, Marks. They look solid on the rush comp. Solstice, honestly, playing compositions that are hard to rush into. But how it worked out with how bunkery Solstice wanted to play and how low mobility their heroes were, they needed the long sightlines for me to get value, right? We saw it on point B. They simply could not take a fight if Shikigami were already in their face. And Shikigami were aware of that. They took aggressive stances whenever they want to fight. Honestly, Solstice won. They won maybe 2 fights, and they were able to keep holding on, right? Like they won that first fight. Then as soon as they lost that, it took all the way to the long sideline at the end of point C, plus the supercharger, for them to get any positioning back. So Solstice really, if they were going to run that composition, it's very, very important that, one, you win.
Really.
Yeah, but it is very important for their positioning. And 2, if you do lose, you have to make sure you're able to set up. You're able to set up once again. That was the big difference there. Shikigami knew what they wanted to do and just punish them on their way back. They made sure that they couldn't set up until literally the last minute. So a very good play from Shikigami to keep the pressure on and keep that keep that comp from doing more damage than it did. We are going to see Solstice swap over to the rush. They knew the double shield didn't work on attack. They learned that very, very well. It's definitely going to work when you have the offense. But Shikigami taking the damage to him, but Lucid Science going very low here.
Yeah, Lucid able to survive. Shout out to the support line for Shikigami again, falling extremely low. But I think that right now this is Trev Stack's flash grenade in combination with everyone looking at Lucid that's able to just get them so much value. And while Shikigami are looking pretty comfortable right now, like you might have mentioned, Solstice might not be the most comfortable on this rush composition, but you know what? That's going to be an amplification matrix comes out. Lucid trying to bully Mead just a little bit. The Immortality Field is keep him alive, but that's a shatter in the backline. Just take Frenok out of this fight. No more heals for you, Solstice. And that is going to be Shikigami winning things out yet again. As they're taking a very aggressive angle in on Solstice. Taking them back to their spawn. All right, well. Now, Solstice, this is their chance to re-engage here, but they're going to be moving into a lot of ultimates. They got to wait for some of their ultimates to come online. I'm looking at Aspect. I'm looking at Lambent. If that Blizzard comes in combination with the Deadeye, it could be absolutely deadly, but Stone's going to be the first one to pop it off. We're seeing Aspect try and get the Deadeye off just to use it defensively, but unfortunately not able to get too much value out of it. Now they've got a Diva self-destruct just in their face here. And, well, even if they didn't find any picks, doesn't matter. Shikigami just have such great positioning. Oh boy, the Blizzard comes in, but doesn't find anybody. Shikigami were so quick to get out of that one. And well, Shikigami, they did have to back up, but they're still feeling incredibly comfortable. They've been holding this for quite some time, and well, right now Solstice hasn't been able to crack it. Mead gets close to the Earth Shatter, looking for an opportunity to lay it down. We're going to be seeing an Amplification Matrix come in here, but it's going to be Shikigami taking the aggressive attack forwards. These Maywalls right now just need to be a little bit better at getting that isolation. We're going to be seeing an Earth Shatter as well as the Sound Barrier come in. Lucid uses one of his own, only gets the Diva, but is just going to be finding Lambent as well. It's an all-out brawl all over the place on point number 1. No one's really playing with their team, but Shikigami are going to be coming out on top as Solstice are going to be looking for another solution to this. They've only got 1.5 minutes left on the clock, and well, they gotta crack this egg open somehow. Otherwise, they're gonna be held on point 1 and are not even gonna get another chance to try and take this map back. All right, taking a look at the ultimates. These teams honestly look pretty well stacked off. Shikigami, though, really good Mei wall placements coming out from Stone, and I think that's kind of been the difference. Well, look at that! Already, the Deadeye is walled off by the Mei wall, but there was a little crack inside, which is just going to take Neo out of the fight. And now they're going to be aggressing forwards. A Blizzard thrown in, but gets eaten by Fofi. Fofi with a huge eat. Might have just won this fight out. Amplification Matrix coming out for both sides right now, but thankfully, it looks like they might be able to survive. The picks are still trading out right now. There's still a little bit of a point cap coming on. Lambent still has the Blizzard as well. That could be fight ending and point ending, honestly. Okay, we're seeing the Blizzard get used, but SBT has the Blizzard's number. Turns out he's going to be going to Dairy Queen because all he's eating are these Blizzards for days. We're going to be seeing a self-destruct now committed, trying to find any sort of value, but right now, while everyone was looking up at that pretty firework, Meat XR decided to take SBT out of the equation. And this is looking like a good opportunity. A huge Earth Shatter coming in. Really turned this one around. Let's see how this goes. This is Solstice Esports' chance for them to win it out. They're going to be walling them off. As soon as they can kind of close out these last people, they should be able to cap point number 1. And just in the nick of time, are they able to get point number 1. What we've been seeing here is ultimately just an all-out attack from all sorts of different angles. That's what you love to see about these rush compositions. But I really want to highlight right now, I think Stone has been doing an absolutely wonderful job with these Mei walls. You want to isolate 1 or 2 targets and have Lucid Science just rush in with his hammer. And honestly, that's why they've been able to bully Meat a little bit in these picks. And you can even see Lucid Science is not afraid to take charges, but is always accurate doing so. Now they will be engaging with the Deadeye, just going to cut down that Mei wall. They've got all of them into a little corner here, but now the engagement is coming through. An Amplification Matrix dropped in, but Lambent using the Deadeye, not able to find too much value. Now the Sound Barrier coming in from both teams, barely keeping Abyss alive, but it's going to be Lucid frozen up. Stone dropping his Blizzard as well, trying to make this team fight still winnable for Shikigami, and it looks like that's probably going to be the case right now. Oh, the the bring-back kill on the Lambit. You can just see it happen. Stone finding Meat XR as well, and Shikigami once again holding this thing nice and powerfully. Trestax now just moving forwards, trying to get that cheeky little flash grenade onto the Lucio, but look at that. Their Shikigami are not afraid to take this aggression, but a key thing that I'm noting is that they take this aggression together. They aren't overextending one or two members, which is ultimately why they're allowed to continue to move forwards and not get punished for it. I think a great amount of ultimates were committed in this last fight here, but right now, Solstice do have a little bit of an advantage. Lucid letting it go. Not going to find too much value on that one. Fortunately, might have been a little bit of a waste. Meanwhile, not quite the same on the other side. Mead able to just find Lucid, and that's going to be enough. This is looking like it might be a good opportunity for Solstice to move things forward. Amplification Matrix drop down once again, but Solstice are going to be moving things around the corner here. Such tight corners, so much geography to use around. It's a great way to disengage, and that's exactly what Shikigami wanted to do. They've got maybe 1-2 more fights, and meanwhile, Solstice, they've only got 17-16 seconds left to make this one happen. So let's see how this goes here. Ultimate's online. Looking at Stone right now. Looking for an opportunity to use that Blizzard. Hopefully won't get that one eaten. The DMEC comes through, which is going to be the go sign for Stone. The Blizzard finding Mead. Oh no, now the Soundbreaker comes in from both teams to make this one work out, but Shikigami have the HP advantage and they can hop over the cart to get onto the other side of this Maywall. An Amplification Matrix also dropped down, and as the picks are going to be coming through, that is going to be a little bit of a stylized shatter from Lucid, because Shikigami, they're going to be winning this one out, and now they're taking our series 2-1 against Solstice Esports. Okay, so let's see what Mead had to say here. I think this was probably going to be the supercharger that really swung the fight around and really solidified the defense there. Like Spooky had said earlier, I don't necessarily think that Solstice are comfortable on this rush composition, but honestly, this double bubble as well as their dive compositions have not looked bad by any means. And unfortunately, Spooky is not here to join me once again due to more wanting to vote down below in the about section for the MVP poll. But honestly, great performance coming out. If I had to highlight somebody based off that last map, it would probably be Stone. I think those Maywalls were absolutely clutch, and we're doing such a great job at isolating, allowing that entire team composition to work here. So big shout out to Stone for just being on top of that. And once again, said it before, I'll say it again. If you have a particular MVP in mind, then make sure to head down below and make sure to vote for them, because whoever wins MVP is going to be hopping in the booth with myself and Spooky, if he is able to return, to try and get that interview going. So great stuff coming out from Shikigami right now. If Solstice lose one more map, it's not going to be too good, because then they're going to be eliminated from the All-Star Brawl, which is not what you want to do when you are participating in the All-Star Brawl, because once again, let's not forget, this is the losers bracket. So one more loss and Solstice is going to be out here. Shikigami definitely feeling pretty comfortable with themselves. If I was in the shoes of Solstice, I would probably pick a map where they wouldn't be able to continue to rush, because that's ultimately where things are falling apart for Solstice. As soon as Shikigami are on that rush composition, they're just looking so strong. So let's see what these teams want to be going up for. Quite a few of these maps already that do favor the rush composition have been taken out from play. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to pick. Meanwhile, just talking a little bit more about the last match. Basically, when things were happening on Solstice's defense there, well, like Spooky said as well, they preferred to play that double shield and take things from far away. But one thing that has happened so many times is that you don't stay around on the point, or you aren't contesting it, giving so much room open to the other team. And I think that's exactly what Shikigami were able to take advantage of, because they were taking weird angles in order to make sure that they could get as quickly as possible into Solstice's face. And while their rush composition just looking spectacular, we're able to just dismantle Solstice and just have them on the run. Once Shikigami got that ball rolling, they were not afraid to just walk that ball all the way to the end. And once again, they're looking a lot more coordinated. I would say that these two teams are very closely matched with one another, because it does feel like they are bringing their own unique strengths to that. Specifically Solstice, Mead and Aspect have been doing a great job of communicating and working together. And so I think that has really worked in their benefit. I want to see more of that enabling happening here and from Solstice Esports. And we might actually be able to see that because, well, we're going to be loading into map number 4 now. Will Shikigami be able to close it out on Solstice, sending them packing and advancing up? Or is Solstice going to be starting their comeback right here, right now? Well, we're going to be finding out on Temple of Anubis. That's right. 2 CP returns. And I think this is a pretty interesting pick from Solstice, specifically because it's going to allow them to dive, and their dives are so goddamn good. And so I think that this is a real opportunity for Solstice to quite frankly, shut out Shikigami. But Shikigami, they're looking really coordinated, and if they're able to get that rush composition into place as soon as possible, then they would be able to dismantle that defense that Solstice might be bringing to the table. Before we load in here, it is going to be Shikigami starting us out on defense on Anubis. So I'm curious to see what they're going to bring. Are they going to be using that rush composition, or are they going to be opting for a little bit more of a shield composition? I personally favor that one, but you know, it's all good because my buddy Spooky, he's back in the booth. Welcome back. Hope you had a great time voting once again for our MVP for today. Okay, he is still not on the mic just quite yet, but we are going to be getting these teams already. See, this is great. I can kind of make fun of him, and he can't say anything back to me for once. You gotta love it. But we are going to be seeing these teams. They have readied up, so we are going to be loading into Temple of Anubis. Once again, Solstice, this is do or die. If Solstice lose this map, then Shikigami, they're going to be moving on while Solstice gets eliminated. So let's see how this goes. Spooky, are you with us?
Hello, Marks. I am back. I have made it. I have returned. I did a small amount of troubleshooting, so hopefully I will not be crashing any longer. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. We were hopefully...
salt over my shoulder? That's too, right?
If it would help. I don't know.
Okay, I'll get my talismans.
Yeah, hopefully we shouldn't have any more problems as we go forward. I was able to tune into the stream and catch the last parts of those games. It does seem like kind of what we've been talking about this whole time, or at least you have, and I have talked about when I was here. But it does seem like Solstice just aren't comfortable on the rush comps. Like they don't want to play them. They only play them if they feel forced to. And like if you're forced to play a composition, it's really kind of, you know, bad because you don't want to play it. You're not practiced. You want to play the double shield comp. You want to play the Orisa, but when it doesn't work out for you, you know you have to match.
Yes.
And that was the issue. And this could be a case of Shikigami doing their homework, which is why they wanted to fight on King's Row.
Yeah, absolutely. They looked so dominant on offense and then again on defense here. But they are going to be starting us out, that is Shikigami, on defense. And it looks like they're actually going to be going for a classic dive composition with in their pocket. What do you think about that for defense here on point number 1 of Anubis?
It could certainly work. The way they would want to do this is really kind of targeting the choke points as Solstice want to move in here. But it's risky. You have to commit. Like you have to commit to a dive. You have to put your tanks in danger. And if they fall, they are not coming back in time to stall the point. It's a good opening engage. As Stone picks Joey. And that's what you need to do. You need to get these picks early.
Yeah, and with that, the team looks like they're backing off, but that's not actually the case. A little bit of a flank coming in from the DPS. They're able to take out Trev Stacks. Should be able to return to the fight pretty quickly, just because that Tracer zipping around left and right. But right now, this is a real opportunity for Solstice to make a little bit of headway here. You can see their bunker is getting set up on this high ground, and if they can find a couple of more picks and add on a little bit more pressure, then they should be free to move on to point. You know, staggering things out a little bit. We're going to be seeing the dive coming in. Lucid Science trying to get in. That's a huge anti-nade. Oh my goodness, Abyss.
Once again, Abyss.
Cool. That's cool. They're going to put the Lucid to sleep, and then, well, now he's permanently sleeping. But Shikigami, hey, that was huge coming in from Abyss, and Lucid Science really punished that aggression coming through from Solstice.
Yeah, still. Without a main tank, Solstice should be able to get a lot of positioning here. You can see Mead wants to control this high ground. They don't want to have to walk through this. They're able to get that because Shikigami are still coming back from spawn. If they get to rotate onto the point, that should be great for Solstice to be able to bunker up there. But Shikigami don't want to let them. They're being very aggressive with their dives, and SBT is punished for it.
Yeah, and look at this. Lucid Science right now got the Nano, popped the Primal, and now has to deal with a Supercharger. They're going to be able to take that one out extremely quickly, burning down a very key ultimate from Solstice. And now it's going to be a fight onto this point. Aspect trying to keep that one alive. Lucid goes a little bit too far in, and Aspect is going to be cleaning that up as well. Aspect right now absolutely popping off for the team with Fofi. This is the Fofi and Aspect show, as they're just going to be on point finding these picks. Stone has to back off, but that should be point number 1. Unless we can see Shikigami recontest this. They do have Stone in place, but as soon as Stone falls down, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to get anybody back in time. And it looks like Shikigami, they're just going to wait to hold point number 2.
Yeah, and Solstice win that off a slow roll. You know, getting a couple picks here and there, just getting their positioning slowly but surely before they're able to set up on point. That's exactly what they need to do with this double shield composition, and it showed the dive really cannot make mistakes, or you'll lose ground, then you'll lose the point. It's a little bit easier when you're so close to spawn, but it's definitely going to be hard for Shikigami to keep this going.
Yep, and while we're seeing the duplicate come online, immediately just flown up into the air. Let's see if they can cancel it out. Yep. All right, Stone not even going to be able to get a grab off of that duplicate. And now we're seeing the aggression come forwards from Shikigami. They want to be moving this thing forward off the back of Lucid Science. And right now it's got to work it out. Gets the nano boost, just keeping him alive a little bit longer. But now the team is moving in. And Lucid, he's reconsidering that dive, able to get out of the way, jumping on Aspect's head. And now finally got the Primal Rage, got stunned out, and there's nothing you can do against that. Just too much poke damage coming through. And now, hey, Solstice, they might want to actually take this fight because they know that the main tank is down. They've got their team ready, and they're going to be moving in. It's a huge anti-nade once again, but they don't have the damage to follow it up. And while you throw down an amplification matrix in front of the team as well, and while that poke is just going to become even more deadly. Solstice now has the Supercharger online as well. Let's see how they're going to be able to get it. Aspect finds the better half of Trev Stacks. Stone swapping over the Doomfist now. Going to be trying to make it back onto point. Already, though, this House of Cards is going to be falling down, and Shikigami can't even recontest it. This is going to be round number 1. A very dominant double shield attack from Solstice.
Yeah, careful, safe play coming out from the tanks from Solstice. Just slowly and surely, like one foot after the other, continuing to push towards point. Never taking a step back, just always, you know, waiting for your shields to be up, waiting until you get a pick, and then taking a little bit of space. And just doing that over and over again. A lot of that is actually enabled by Aspect, who is really popping off on the Tracer. He's doing a lot of work on the flank, putting in the damage, giving openings for the team to push up just that little bit, and just harassing all of Shikigami, which is it's really quite impressive for a Tracer who really doesn't have much support. You know, no Discord orb. I guess he has Brig cookies, the repair packs getting thrown to him, but that's pretty much it.
That's pretty important.
So Aspect definitely really making that space just by flanking, getting a pick here and there, doing a lot of work on the Tracer just to take enough pressure off his front line that they can continue moving forward. And now Solstice they have to be grinning. They get to play this bunker comp on defense. It is going. They have the architecture to help them. They have the positioning to help them. They have the high ground. If they made this work on offense, I would not be happy to go against this as Shikigami. I certainly would be a little scared.
Absolutely not. Let's see if that rock hits anybody. Nope. All right. Well, it was a good effort there, Fofi. I appreciate it. But now, let's see how Shikigami want to take this attack. Like you said, it's going to be difficult with that double shield up, but looks like they want to be going for a dive style, because maybe you find that Ashe, find that Torb, find that heal, and you could be good. Lucid immediately catches a rock to the face. Gonna be backing off. Hey, the defense matrix ain't gonna help out with that one. Does get out with their life. Trev Stacks able to take out the turret. That's gonna re-enable the dive here. Unfortunately, we have a DMAC coming in on SBT. Too much poke damage coming through. And well, Shikigami, they're gonna throw Lucid out there, you know, charge up that nano boost as much as they can before they decide to re-engage here. But it's gonna be hard to take that bunker out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They need the nano. Lucid is just playing in the choke points, trying to take that poke damage, get the nano boost to finally engage. Still, SBT is still out of mech, so it's going to take a little bit for her to actually get her her mech back to be able to participate, so they're going to be waiting on that. But Stone and Trevstacks are in good position for this opening Lucid Science is about to make. They might get something done here.
The dive comes in, and now Stone is diving in as well. Look at that. We've scattered the double shield composition. They've dislodged them from the high ground. Now it's time to put the money where your mouth is and see whether or not they can take the rest of this fight. But Lambent's Torp Turret actually coming out on the hero here, able to pressure back Stone and Trevstacks. Actually takes Lucid Science out of the fight, and, well, Solstice, they're more than happy to take their positioning once again.
Yeah, they do get a closing pick on the aspect, so it's going to take a little bit of time for the hit scan to get back, especially with no mercy. But all in all, that was very solidly Solstice. Shikigami took 2 minutes to build up to that attack, a minute and a half to get that nano boost online and the positioning they wanted, and it was completely dismantled by Solstice just backing off a little bit and focusing their targets. A couple of ultimates as well, but all in all, they're looking very strong.
Now let's see how this goes here. Lucid opting. Oh, the Molten Core is online. Don't want to engage into a room full of lava on your feet. Even though Sigma floats, it's not necessarily the best way to go. Stone
His
and
toes are still out.
yeah,
Like,
you know,
his crispy
toes are
little
maybe a little bit
piggies.
crispy. You know who else is crispy? Stone, because he actually got taken out by that Molten Core. And now, I don't know if I agree with this aggression Mead is kind of using, but he's got his team to support him, so he's more than happy to just move into their face. And Solstice proving that they are the superior double shield team right now.
Yeah, and they have all the ultimates. Shikigami really don't have too much. Stone has to come up big with his duplicate, maybe on the Fofi, but I'm not sure it'll quite be enough. The Gravitic Flux comes out, it just kind of stalls them out a little bit. They'll be happy that they don't take too much damage, but it's an aggressive push! Are you kidding me, Solstice? What is this?
They are so comfortable with this double shield composition that they're just having fun right now. And you can see it in their playstyle. And right now, Shikigami, they've only got 45 seconds left to make something happen. They are starting to get some ultimates online, so this could be the moment, but it's still going to be extremely difficult because Solstice are just so comfortable, and they also have a supercharger to hang out with.
Yeah, this might be last fight with how slow both of these compositions are. I know Solstice are playing pretty fast, but 25 seconds, and the fight is just starting.
Oh, let's see how it goes. Immortality Field already forced out here. Now, okay, here we go. Trading back and forth, but it's a dragon that just finds two, and Trevstacks might have just found the opening here. All the ultimates are online, and hey, that's going to be a press Q to win scenario because this looks like Shikigami were able to find their footing, and with that team kill, we should expect them to get Objective A.
Yeah, they cap. Absolute last second. Put together by Stone and Trevstacks. I believe Stone got the Gravitic Flux off as well, which kind of trapped everyone in that room and forced them into the dragon. If not actually landing them in it, it got them stuck in the AoE for a while. So Shikigami have a second chance at life, but even if they cap, they will have less time than Solstice. And if they had that much trouble on point A, they really are going to have to come up with something special for point B.
Hey, you want something special? How about a Genji? We're going to be seeing the Grav come
Genji's
online.
special, yeah.
Going to be throwing people up into the air, and well, that's going to be Solstice just kind of cleaning things up yet again. But, you know, Stone on the Genji swap. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, Spooky.
You're playing Genji into a Torb, you're playing Genji into a turret, you're playing Genji into a Brig. Yeah, I don't think I'm a fan. You don't even have potentially Abyss on the Ana, so you can have a Nano Blade to play towards. You get a little bit extra flanking, you get to potentially take out a low mobility target or use the high ground to your advantage, but well, look at that.
Well,
yeah, he flanked a little bit. Good job,
Grav is
Stone.
actually not going to get too much value. We're seeing the supercharger invested by Lucid. This could be their time to move forwards here. Unfortunately, the turret is actually the one that's going to be coming out on top of the supercharger. Now, let's see Shikigami. They got to make something happen here. They're going to be moving forwards, but a Molten Core online is going to make that extremely difficult to push into. They do have their Amplification Matrix in front of them, so they are putting in a lot of damage. Stone able to find Lambent. All right, Stone deep on the flank now. He's looking to build up that blade as quickly as he can, but now there's a Dragon Strike going through the back line of point. Looks like this distraction might have actually worked out for the rest of Shikigami. They're going to be moving in here, but let's see if it's going to be enough. We're seeing the supercharger drop down by Mead as well as a rally, but can they make this one happen? This is still very contested right now as Stone falls down in the back line. Stone very close to a blade. Another amplification matrix already built up, and that's going to be just Shikigami just rolling things forward. Now, a Genji coming out from Lambent as well. No more Torb. Another little ninja in your back line, but let's see how this goes. This is basically rush comp with double shields right now, and I'm not too sure who is going to be coming out, but it looks like Solstice finally want to be closing this one out.
Yeah, definitely. That reminded me of Goats a little bit. You know, just both teams
just a bit.
slamming themselves into each other, and so many ultimates being built up. Nobody really quite dying, and suddenly the floodgates break, and it is going to be Solstice coming out on top. After some fairly strange swaps in the middle of the fight, Aspect over on the Bastion, Lambent with the blade on Genji. We might see a little bit of a sword fight coming out between Lambent and Stone as Shikigami. The best they can hope for now is a draw as they catch overtime here.
The blade is going to be popped. Stone trying to make something happen, got brought up into the air, and Aspect just gunned him down. Oh no, there goes the blade, and there goes the team right now. As Shikigami, they don't have much left. Trestax using the dragons to try and make something happen, but now he's going to be the last one. A rally and a stone to the face, and well, hey, that's one way to end the team fight. As Shikigami got nothing in the tank left, so that is going to be Solstice winning out map number 4, bringing our series to 2-2, Spooky.
Yeah, we are going to map 5, Solstice looking very good on this double shield composition, and really it does, these maps have felt like, you know, whoever gets to pick the map is the one who actually comes out on top. And it has been compositional differences the entire time. Minus Control, we saw the dive battle come out in Gibraltar, which was Solstice's pick, and they took that one. Followed by King's Row Rush Mirrors, which Shikigami just took control of and, quite honestly, slapped Solstice around on that composition. And then we see the exact same thing happen with the double shield, but this time in Solstice's favor. Still, I mean, if pound for pound, you have to look at it and be like, well, Solstice, they have 2 comps that they can play pretty well, the double bubble and the double shield, versus the one rush comp coming out from Shikigami, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I do want to remind everybody that we are not guaranteed to go to Control next. Just in the way that Overwatch All-Star Brawl works is that we can't actually choose any kind of map from any pool. But the winning team gets a ban. They get to ban any map, but the losing team can pick from the rest of them, regardless of map type. So I would...
the same map type.
Yeah, as long as it's not the same map type, we won't see 2 CP again. But Shikigami do get whatever pick they want to. So I'm certainly curious to see what they want to go to. But again, you know, they did win on Control. They looked good on Control. That could be what they go for, to maybe take advantage of this neutral fight. It does seem like Solstice are a little bit more comfortable on these defenses where they get to set up, they get to play a little bit safer, and then figure out exactly when they want to engage instead of having to push forward, right? So potentially Control could throw a wrench in their plans.
It's definitely true, and I just want to remind everybody, if you saw a pop-off performance from that last map, then make sure to head down below to the About section and vote for your MVP so we can interview them after our contested map number 5. Shikigami, Solstice, 2-2. The next one is going to win. And it is the other one packing.
It is going to be Li Zhang. We did see Solstice ban Eichenwald. I can tell that that's already them kind of fearing the rush comps a little bit. Yep. Eichenwald, yeah, you know, you can make other comps work, but I think rush is popular, at least, if not predominant. It is a popular composition to run on Eichen. I almost thought Shikigami might go with something like a Rialto.
Rialto
which is very strong for the rush. But with a team like Solstice that's so good on the double shield, I've definitely seen, you know, first point holds with double shield. I've seen second point holds with that long bridge the rush would have to get over. Yep. So I do like the decision to actually shy away from, you know, potentially the Rialto pick and go to Li Zhang. Because the thing is, you have a 1 in 3 chance, at least to start out with, of rolling Control Center. And Control Center, if you're forced onto these Rhine Rush comps, you should have a pretty good chance at Shikigami. So you instantly just get that one check on the board. Not instantly, Solstice still have a chance, right? Like, but you assume that you'll get that one check on the board from winning Control Center, and then that's just one out of the last 2 maps you have to get away with. So I do like the pick of Li Zhang, and I think Solstice will struggle a bit. I think this map is stacked against them, just because of Control Center sitting there so Reinhardt friendly.
Yep. And looks like that's exactly what's going to be happening here on our first contestation. Once again, Spooky, another thing to point out is on the very first map that was Control, well, it was always Shikigami coming out on top and honestly getting 90+% multiple times. So I think that they're hoping that they can keep that momentum going forwards. I will remind everybody that Shikigami was the team that won out that Control map. And, well, with this rush comp,
yeah, they've definitely looked better on the rush than Solstice. But still, a lot of this is going to come out to this first fight. And there's a lot of damage being teased by Solstice, going for both the Sigma and the Junkrat. Stone will really have to make a major impact quickly, or, Shikigami's advantage could fall apart if Sigma and Junk get to put down as much damage as they want.
Yeah, and look at that. Wow, Lucid already going into the back line. Look at all of those picks. Swung the hammer once, got 2 heads with it. And, well, hey, we talked about Shikigami being pretty comfortable here. And, well, looking exactly like what it is, Spooky.
That is 82% to an Earth Shatter, Marks. We have talked a lot about Mead in his various different ways, being on the ball, being on the Winston, being on the Orisa. He gets stiffed by Lucid Science in the Rhine duel. Still, Lucid Science getting frozen up. Lamont switching to the Mei. I don't think Shikigami were expecting this. The standard rush coming out and that Mei wall giving Solstice so much extra pressure pushing in. Only 12% as Solstice managed to flip.
Yeah, Solstice, they are back and with a vengeance. They want to show that this rush comp isn't outside of their bounds. Lucid getting a little bit caught on that Mei wall, able to make it out, but now Solstice are taking this hold nice and close. They don't know that Sim turrets are going to be on the other side there, but an amplification matrix is going to be used as an engagement tool and a defense tool. But it's a huge Earth Shatter coming in, finds 4. Unfortunately, not able to follow up too much onto it. They were able to pick Aspect, which is a great start. And now we see Lucid Science is just going to be moving into the team. It's going to be a defensive Mei wall use, but look at that. Oh, the damage coming in from these sim turrets, and there's nothing. There's nothing that Solstice can do, even with that huge Earth Shatter coming out from Mead. He just got burned down by the car wash.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with using the Shatter and the bomb there. I don't think that was ever a winnable situation. And now Shikigami, they get control of the points. They also have the ult advantage fairly strong, along with the mobility by the Sim teleporter. Solstice, they're playing the standard comp, but that means they just have to plod their way slowly in. They don't have the quantum science to just teleport from place to place.
I do enjoy me a little bit of quantum science, but you know what else I enjoy? Dueling Earth Shatters, and, well, it's looking like a package of Skittles right now because we got photon walls, explosions, and blizzards all over the point here. And it looks like it is going to be, in fact, Solstice winning this out, but Shikigami, they're not quite over yet. All right, they were able to hold on to that point, actually. What I thought was Solstice Esports, well, Shikigami, they push back, and they win out that fight in the ultimate battle.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates coming down, blizzards, photon barriers, but still, Shikigami hold on. They keep their defensive positioning, and they have an amp matrix ready to go. It's already out, but Aspect finds Neothat.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that Earth Shatter from from Lucid found nothing but shield. Now Solstice are going to be more than comfortable to walk their way onto point. They got to deal with those sim turrets, but as soon as those kind of go down, then this should be Solstice winning things out, trying to stall out for as long as they can, Shikigami, but, well, they're just going to let the point flip over. It's still 87-38, so they're feeling a little bit comfortable.
Yeah, and 87 is very close to last fight territory. Solstice would have to scramble to get back onto the point, and that is not what you want to do. On these compositions, you want to come together as a team, and that will not happen if Shikigami are able to flip this here. Still, the Shatter comes out, the Ice Wall is good, but Mead is already down.
Yeah, it's such good coordination coming out from Shikigami. A self-destruct used in the back line here, but it's all for naught because the picks are just coming through. Oh, that's going to be a fist to the face aspect flying against the wall. His back is going to be cracking on that one. And Shikigami, they're still on to this point. There's one more chance for Solstice to re-engage here, but they're going to have to do it
for the touch.
without their full force. It's going to be looking extremely dangerous, especially too with those symmetric turrets. They're so annoying, but there's nothing you can do for them right now. Stone using the crunch on top of Lambin's head, and now this is all but over. Shikigami are going to be winning out that point. The Earth Shatter comes out just for good measure onto these last remaining supports. They want to close this one out, and they want to close it out now. Amplification Matrix into the wall, but that's all good because Shikigami, hey, they've got point number one more away from victory, Spooky.
Yeah, just like what we were talking about, you know, they pretty much had that one checked off before this map even started. They're just better at the rush comps. Yes. Solstice put up a little bit more of a momentum-based team. We saw it on Temple of Nuvis when they were feeling themselves. They would just push forward on the double shield, try and take care of the choke points. I think when these guys are feeling good, they play better. And that has to be rough, knowing that's do or die. I have to remind you, this is map 5, but this is the loser's bracket. Whoever loses here goes home. And it's just such a shame with both of these teams putting on good performances today. But this is Overwatch, baby, and somebody has to win. Shikigami, they just need one more to secure their place moving forward.
And almost mirror compositions coming out here. The difference between an Echo and a Sombra. Those hacks are going to be extremely deadly for Lucid. There we go. Not able to escape with his life. And now this should be Solstice feeling pretty comfortable with this pick, as they're just going to be sweeping up the rest of the kills. And hey, this time Solstice are the first ones who are going to be capping out the point.
Yeah, for the first time, I think, in 5 with this one. You know, so far it's good tidings. They have the ultimate advantage as well. They did fairly clean engage. So far it should be fairly good for them. Shikigami still trying to decide exactly how they want to engage here, and that is not it though.
No, Trevstax falls down and Lucid immediately gets discorded as well, trying to make something happen here, leaving Neil. Oh no, it's gonna be booped off the edge, and well, Shikigami have to disengage here. I do think that Sombra is making a difference here compared to the Echo. So far, Stone has not been finding too much value off of that pick, and, well, Shikigami are kind of paying for it.
He's not really able to even find his way in, you know. He's flying around on the sidelines. He can't actually find a place to come in and engage with that focusing beam. And now Lambent has the EMP. Aspect down. Let's see if Lambent wants to use this to try and save this by killing Abyss.
Yep,
And
there goes the EMP.
It is.
It's going to find 2. SPT gets demeched. Neothai trying to run away, is able to actually escape here, but it might be not too much. But meanwhile, Lucid Science just keeping this going for himself. Just cap the point. Cheeky little back cap. Now just trying to stay alive for as long as he can. But it's going to be hard, especially with a stun and a hack coming in. And well, even though that they were able to flip it around and get some percentage on the board, Solstice, they were happy to give that up because they're just right back at it.
Yeah, but it probably gives Shikigami another chance here. You know, they would be at 90, facing down 90% if they didn't get that back cap. So
Abyss.
But Abyss getting this opening pick, this is looking pretty good for Shikigami as they push in here.
Yeah, Lucid getting hacked up. You hate to see that right now. That's just the Sombra versus Ball thing. That's going to happen over and over.
Copying the Sombra.
And Stone, I'm not sure if I agree with that. You're going to get an EMP off of it. He is able
Nothing. He whipped it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Me just running over Trev stacks now, and this is looking like Solstice are coming back, and they're coming back strong. Right now, we're going to be seeing them go into overtime shortly. Lucid does have the mines on a line, trying to avoid the Sombra hack. Going to be throwing... Okay, just holding on to points. The bigs are coming through for the team right now. Shikigami, they used Lucid as a distraction. And, well, they're more than happy to have them swing at this pinata that is a giant wrecking ball.
Yeah, a long fight, and luckily it goes in favor of Shikigami, as Solstice are just one team fight away from winning this, and Lambent has the presence of mind to hold on to the EMP. He knows they only need one more fight to take this away, and he's going to save it for a big one. I definitely agree with that. I know it can be tempting to use that big game-winning ultimate to flip a fight, but Lambent Very smart to hold on while his entire team is ready to engage. That is going to be the tool they use to come into this and try and actually cap at this point. It's a 3-man.
Oh, that's a 3-man already. D-Mech coming through, and, well, Trestax trying to make something happen. Misses the pulse bomb there. Is going to be coming through, but a Transcendence actually from Abyss was able to keep most of the people alive. And, well, Shikigami, even though they got EMP to start out that fight, are going to be winning this one out as, well, they're getting those picks there. And Stone on this Sombra might be one of the reasons why they're able to just continue to get this momentum moving forwards.
Yeah, Shikigami were really playing pretty close together, and it's a little far away from anywhere that Solstice could have engaged from. So the EMP comes through, but it seemed like it was a little difficult for the entire team to follow up on it. So it ended up being more like a 6v3 instead of a 6v6, and even hacked out that you win the numbers game on this one. This is getting close to last fight here, Mark. Shikigami, if they win this point, they might be good. They might get away with this one. Solstice are incredibly close to getting knocked out of the Overwatch All-Star Brawl.
Oh, that's going to be a pulse bomb eaten up. The mines are now going to be committed onto point. Lucid trying to clean up as much as they can. Let's see how this goes. That's going to be an EMP coming out. Oh no, Stone with that EMP might have just won them the map. Let's see how it goes. The picks are coming through. The Discord orb on, but it's just Frenok and Joey and Aspect. They got to stay on the point right now. They can't afford to step off of it because the overtime is just going to burn down. They are able to find Lucid Science, but Stone takes out Joey. A lot less healing. Let's see how it goes. Aspect is kind of popping off right now. Let's see if Aspect can continue to keep this going.
Need is back.
They have a couple of people on the point, but Aspect is just... Okay, all right. Let's see how this goes. They're going to flip this point around. It's 99 to 99. We're going to be seeing the Pulse Bomb come onto Trev. That's just going to immediately shut that down. You can see both of these teams. They want to make this happen. The EMP is going to come down, just shutting down Lucid Science. This doesn't matter because there's also a Lucio coming in. Trying to solve this out for as long as possible, but there's too many picks coming in. Stone has to make something happen, but gets taken out immediately. Aspect just absolutely coming alive just when the team needed him the most, and that should have won the team fight for Solstice, bringing us to potentially point number 3 on map number 5 here, Spooky.
Yeah, what a fight coming out from Solstice. And I have to highlight Aspect, like you said, getting the 2K during that fight to actually bring them back in, but it was Joey's rally that kept the team alive long enough for that to happen, especially when you have players like Mead on the ball. You know, if you have that rally armor to keep the Zen and the Tracer alive for just a little bit, even though I believe Freenok died and not too long after that, just stalling enough time and having a Tracer like Aspect who can get you a couple picks, that's enough time for me to get back into the fight. And Lambit translocates back, and then suddenly you have a team fight on your hands, and Solstice are able to run away with that. 1-1. Only one team can win here. Everything else disregarded, because whoever wins this point is moving on. The other is out in our Overwatch All-Star Brawl. I just can't wait.
Don't forget to vote for your MVP right now. A lot of candidates coming out as Lucid Science is going to be hacked up. See how he wants to get that. He's able to escape. Abyss found Aspect. That is the star DPS taken out right now. So Shikigami are going to be holding this one a little bit closer to them. As Solstice, they're going to... Wow. Right now, this is the Abyss show on that Zenyatta, finding so many picks.
Yeah, and that is very good for them, especially running this far a Mercy comp. They get a lot more space if they are on the defense here instead of having to push in. They really get to rain down the damage from the sky. That is a perfect fight win for Shikigami, especially with this composition.
Yeah, and look at that. Stone already 75% to the barrage. I want to see what can happen with this. Like you said, very good defensively, and that's definitely showing right now. Meanwhile, the tanks are having a little bit of a brawl on the point here. Are able to kind of push out some of these little harassers coming in here. Poking damage. Oh! Aspect. Didn't expect a rocket to the back. Feeling like a little bit of a rocket man there. Now let's see how this goes. The dive is coming in from Lucid Science. Has that Zenyatta in his sights. And with the support of Abyss, that's going to be happening. The EMP does come out, and it does find 3. Thankfully, he is there for the res. So even with all of that, you've also got a barrage on top of it. Don't know if I agree with using it quite there. Might have been already a one-team fight, but Shikigami are holding this strong, and they're already at 50%, Spooky.
Yeah, Aspect switches over to the hit scan to deny Stone a little bit. Put a little pressure on that Pharah, but it's kind of been the Abyss show, putting down a bunch of damage, getting a lot of picks, keeping everyone fresh up, even getting the Transcendence off. They can barely even touch this point, and they're running out of time, Marks. Solstice's hopes and dreams for the Overwatch All-Star Brawl might be ending right here. Aspect gets the pick, but it's traded. Tripstacks hits the bomb.
That is true.
They're just waiting. They don't have their team members to actually come in and engage.
And they're more than happy to do so. Lucid caught in the back. So many mines on point here. Finally going to be dropping his own Shikigami. Well, hey, they're at 93%. They're going to force out the Transcendence to clean up the mines here. But Shikigami right now, they're going to have to back off. They're okay with flipping that point around because they are at 97%. It's just one more team fight. Already falling so low. Aspect. Oh, gets kept alive. And Lucid Science is going to be the one who's going to be falling down there. The Discord Orb just burning down that HP pool. And, well, now Solstice, they're still in this. They got to do this defense perfectly. They can't afford to lose a single team fight, Spooky.
Yeah, the Far Mercy can't really stand on point, so Solstice get enough pressure to get the flip. They didn't actually have to win the fight. They just managed to flip it and force Shikigami off for a minute. But still, like you said, there are no second chances here. Stone, that's a big bomb from Fofi. That buys them a lot of time to potentially get back up to these support ultimates. Stone was looking for a barrage but couldn't find it. But still, every single ultimate for Shikigami here could spell the end for Solstice. They need to keep cycling. They need to win fights with a single ultimate and keep going. Stone is creeping around the skybox on the back. He is trying to drop down this barrage from above. This could be game winning.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love me a big barrage right now, just flirting with the rooftops, keeping it nice, close, and personal. Spotted out Aspect. Oh, he's getting a lot of damage in the Discord Orb. He's going to make it extremely impossible to do that. We do see, though, the res is going to be coming through, and Shikigami actually are going to have point presence.
Stone?
Okay, the barrage comes through. It finds two, gets the D-Mech as well. And this looks like Shikigami might be able to sneak this one. Oh, listen Science! Listen Science! Oh, he rolled into the mines! And what was looking like an incredibly winnable situation for Shikigami, Solstice were able to just turn that one around. That was an absolute clutch minefield coming out from Meat XR.
Tripstack has to touch here. He has to get in. Shikigami do not have the members to fight a full team fight here. The rally's up from Joey!
Let's see how this goes. Right now, Solstice getting a little bit pressured here. Oh, the pulse bomb comes through, doesn't find anything. All right, Lambit though, this is coming forwards for Solstice right now. They've got mines in front of them. B doesn't care, he's gonna be rolling through. Now it's gonna be collapsing onto the backline. They've got Trev Stacks coming in here, trying to keep it alive. Has a pulse bomb. Gets the, oh no!
Are you kidding me?
And
Marksy got away with it,
Solstice winning it out 3-2 up against Shikigami, as they are still alive in the All-Star Brawl, Spooky.
And what a fight at the end there, you know. I really had that one. That one looked over. Solstice were getting nothing done. They couldn't even approach the point. And then they finally managed to actually come up with something. They get a couple of picks. They're able to get their way on the point. They don't even win the fight. No. They just do manage to actually cap the point. Shikigami back off, and they can never get back in. Fantastic play coming out from Solstice, really cycling their ultimates well to get all the way up to that 100%, but that truly looked over. And of our All-Star Brawl, but they put up a hell of a fight.
Oh yeah, no, needless to say, that was some really damn good Overwatch that we were able to see. These two teams were so evenly matched. Solstice just coming out on top. But stick around, because we are going to be tallying up who is going to be the MVP for the match, as you voted down below, and we will be interviewing them in just a couple of seconds. So, really exciting stuff. I'm curious to see who won MVP, but there were so many players from honestly both teams that I wouldn't be surprised if they did win. So many pop-off moments for the DPS, the tanks, and honestly even the supports. We mentioned this at the beginning, but, you know, Abyss, Frenok doing such a great job of putting on the pressure, whether they were through the Discord orbs or through the bio nades. And so both of those also really good contenders. Honestly, Spooky, I don't know who to expect coming in here.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does feel like almost anybody, really anybody. I don't want to throw any shade at anyone, but I do want to feel like anybody could really come up here in the booth with us, because just really, you don't get a performance, you don't get a match like that without really strong performances from both teams. So I really couldn't tell you. Abyss, Freenock, both very good. Mead, always a strong contender.
Yep.
We saw a lot of good plays coming out from Fofi, from Stone. Could truly be anyone. So we are just waiting for that tally to come in. But man, Marks, what a match!
That was incredibly exciting. It looked like, honestly, Solstice were just a little bit better at playing the long game. I do think that a lot of the hacks coming in onto Lucid was making it so difficult for that Wrecking Ball to work. And it just, honestly, it was just so well done. Lambent doing a great job of finding those hacks onto that main tank. And as soon as the main tank fell, then they were able to just move in there and go for it. Stone had a great barrage at the end. I thought that was going to be the fight win. But unfortunately, in the back line, Mead dropped the mines down. And, well, they just kept on rolling. And it looks like we are going to be getting a Neothea into the lobby, who played support for Shikigami.
Yeah, it should just be a couple of seconds before we're actually able to get them in. So I am certainly excited to be able to talk with them. I think we do have them here. If Neothea, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We can hear you too. Unfortunately, you guys just fell short, but man, that was an extremely close game between both your team and Solstice here tonight. How are you feeling after that?
A little bummed out that we lost, but I think it was a pretty fun match overall. I really liked it.
Yeah, definitely tragic, disappointing. But honestly, I don't think you guys, from a pure gameplay standpoint, I really don't think you guys have too much to be upset about. You really played very well. It was a super entertaining match. Just two teams, just very back and forth. It really felt like it could have gone either way the entire time. And I do think you guys really have a performance to be proud of. I do want to ask you real quick. What was there a certain strategy coming into this match? We were talking a lot about potentially, your King's Row pick and how you guys looked very, very good on the rush, significantly better than Solstice did. Was that something you wanted to try and force a little bit, try and stick on these Reinhardt comps?
Yeah, like we knew that, I don't really know how to pronounce his name, their main tank is a really good Orisa. So we wanted to try and avoid Orisa comps or maps that Orisa is really good at. So we went with like King's Row stuff that we were like really confident with our rush on, to just try and like counter him basically, because he's a very good Orisa player.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Mead was definitely having some pop-off moments with that Orisa, and I really liked some of the stuff that you guys were pulling out in order to try and counter that. Namely, when they were playing that kind of like Orisa rush style, just you guys on rush in general seem to be a little bit more in control of the map, and I think that really reflected it. But when it came to some of these other compositions, where do you think you guys really were excelling at besides just this rush style?
I mean, we may play rush and like Ball Diva, Briggs in, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I would like Echo Tracer. We really like those comps as well. Like along with the rush.
Yeah, absolutely. I did catch that a lot on that first map specifically, and even on the fifth map. I know it didn't quite go your way, but that was incredibly close. Both times, just a couple of fights away, and it really could have gone either way. So thank you so much for coming on with us, Neothea. And again, this was a fantastic match from you. So yes. I definitely don't want you to feel bummed out about your performance at all, because you guys really gave it your all, and we could tell on broadcast. But I do want to give you this opportunity if you want to give any shout outs, any last words for the Overwatch All-Star Brawl as you guys take your exit.
For shout outs, follow me on Twitter at NEOTHEI and SBTOW on Twitter. That's all for shout outs, I guess.
Only SBT gets the shout out.
SBT, he's in desperate need of Twitter followers, so
Twitter broke.
Yeah. I gotta hook him up,
No, that's the sign of a good teammate, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Neothai, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you. See ya.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up things around here in the losers bracket. We just watched Shikigami going up against Solstice Esports, and Solstice Esports won on map number 5. Point number 3, mind you, in control, of course. And they will be
99 to
advancing.
99 as well.
99 wow, we really just stretched this out as far as we could go. But unfortunately, Shikigami are going to be going home while Solstice are going to be moving on. So, thank you for tuning in. This has been casted by myself, Marks, as well as Spooky. You can find me on Twitter at Marcus_Wong3. And Spooky, what's your Twitter?
At SpookyCasts. I am also in Twitter poverty. So if you wanna throw me a follow, I will shake my cup for it. Please, please, I am begging you. Absolutely desperate.
I feel like you and SBT could get along pretty well, huh?
Yeah, we have to start a company or something to just get some Twitter clout in.
Twitter broke. Yeah, there we go. Just make it an influencer company and you'll be fine. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in. As a reminder, you want to make sure you're going to be following this channel on Twitch because we've still got a lot of this tournament left to go for the All-Star Brawl. So every single time a map is going to be live, then you will get notified. Also a reminder, you can follow us on Twitter as well as find us on YouTube as well for all of these Overwatch related things, and you're gonna have a great time. But I think that just about wraps everything up here. Spooky, do you have any last words for us?
No, I once again just great performance from both of the teams. Unfortunate to see Shikigami go out, but I am super excited to see Solstice continue their run in the losers bracket. So definitely come back for those games. I'm super excited.
Well, speaking of coming back, tomorrow we've got Andy's Daycare up against Hog Mafia at 6 p.m. And then Gaia versus Regen right after that one. And if you enjoyed our lovely cast tonight, then you're going to want to stick around because we will be casting again tomorw. But
with 100% less crashes, hopefully.
Hopefully. Why'd you say that out loud? Why'd you say that out loud? You just caster cursed us as casters. Oh, dude. But okay. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night, everyone.